Hey everybody, welcome to YouTube Mommy Meetup. We are here in another live hangout. I am Dana, Miss Diaper D from the Diaper Dirt channel, and I am here tonight with my co-host Amy from Dreamflight 6000. Do you want to go ahead and say hello?
Hey everybody.
And also with Diana from Being Mommy with Style. You want to say hi?
Hey everyone.
And then we have two special guests with us tonight. I'm going to let them go ahead and introduce their channel. And we will start with Naomi. Do you want to go ahead and say your channel name, maybe how many kids you have, how long you've been on YouTube, and a little bit about what you do on your channel?
My name is Naomi, and my channel name is My Life with the Cherry on Top. I almost went blank. My Life with the Cherry on Top. I have two kids, two sons, a 6-year-old and an almost 18-month-old. And pretty much my channel is a family channel. Although I have a lot of other things on the channel, like DIYs, a little bit of vlogging now. I'm kind of getting into that, and some cooking and a lot of hauls, family related though, like kids, clothes, and things like that. And then just children, like kids topics, I would say mostly.
Okay. And did you say how long you've been on YouTube? I'm sorry.
No, I didn't. I apologize.
That's okay.
My anniversary date is in May, so this May it'll be 3 years, but I haven't consistently uploaded until I'd say the last 6 to 8 months. I've been consistent, like on a schedule, twice a week uploading. But yeah, in May it'll be 3 years.
Great. Congratulations on that.
Thanks.
All right. Thanks for being here. And Tasha, you want to go ahead and introduce yourself and your channel?
Sure. Hey, I'm Tasha, and my channel is TKB+3, and I've been on YouTube for almost 2 months now, so I am a newbie, but I have 3 little kiddos, a 4-year-old, a 2-year-old, and a 7-month-old, and I kind of just do a bunch of everything on my channel. I do my daily vlogs, which it's hard to keep up with on that. I do hauls and I do tags, just kind of a mix of everything on there.
Okay, perfect. All right, thanks for being here with us. And tonight we have our Twitter team, as always, in every single hangout. So the YouTube Mommy Meetup Twitter team is on hand to tweet with you, and they are there under hashtag YTMM. We have our Twitter team leads, Anne-Marie from It's Just My Life CA, and also Crystal from Brought to You by Mom. They're there along with the other members of the Twitter team. If you go to YouTubeMommyMeetup.com/Twitter, you'll see the list of them. And you know, even if you're not really sure about Twitter, I know a lot of moms aren't always on Twitter. It's a really great way to get to know Twitter. If you go ahead over there and just tweet and just put in that hashtag YTMM under your tweets, and then that way they'll see them and you can kind of interact, and it's a really good, you know, not too fast-paced party, so it's a really great introduction. And if you have any questions or comments throughout the hangout, put them there, and then we'll try to read, you know, some of the tweets that we see as they come in. Also in the comments, I see quite a few comments here. Thank you to everybody who is joining us in the comments here on YouTube. And we're going to be checking those as well. Excuse me, I have a little cold I'm trying to work through. But we're going to check the comments, so leave your questions there and comments, and we'll try to highlight those as well. And we are talking about managing criticism tonight in this hangout. And criticism is something that, you know, almost every YouTuber, I would say yes, every YouTuber has to deal with it. Anytime you're putting yourself out there publicly, a lot of times that's sort of par for the course. It's something that we have to manage. And there's 3 different kinds of criticisms that we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about family, and we're also going to talk about your subscribers, so your actual viewers when you get criticism from them, and then also within the community that you're a part of and how you manage those. And I really think it's important to say at the very beginning of the hangout here, you know, it is something we all deal with, and it's, you know, getting everybody to like you is not something that's ever going to be possible. So anyone just starting out on YouTube, I hope everyone understands that. It's just something that we all experience and we do have to deal with. And so we're going to kind of, you know, just discuss that. And it is kind of a hard topic because we don't like to draw attention to the trolls. Everyone has heard don't feed the trolls. And so it's kind of a little bit uncomfortable for those of us here in the hangout to talk about. But we're going to start with family. We're going to talk about family. whether or not your family, number one, knows about your YouTube channel, and if you have experienced, maybe some pushback from them, some criticism about you doing YouTube, and maybe how you've managed that. So that's the first thing we're going to talk about. Plus, we have some questions from the Facebook group, and we're going to try to highlight those as well. So that was a long introduction. So let's just sort of start here, and we'll sort of talk about maybe if everybody has told their family, just sort of begin with that. So Diana, we'll just start with you. Does everybody in your family know that you're a YouTuber?
Yeah. It took me a while. I was probably on YouTube and doing YouTube consistently for almost a year, actually, before the cat got out of the bag, I guess. And I finally just said, whatever, and started posting about it on my personal Facebook page, and that's kind of how I introduced it to everyone that I hadn't told in person, like my parents and all that. But yeah, I think that pretty much people know that that's what I do now, and if they have an opinion, luckily people at this point kind of keep it to themselves if it's not great. But when you're just starting out, I think there's a lot of confusion over what it is too. People don't quite understand it all the time.
Were they accepting from the beginning, your family and friends?
There was a lot of different varying levels. I will put it that way. There was a lot of varying levels. So my nieces that are younger and they get it, they already watched YouTube. They're like, oh, that's cool, yay. And then my parents they don't quite get it. They're not as technologically savvy, so they're kind of like, what is this? You do what? And then then there was kind of varying opinions all kind of throughout. You're putting your life out there. I don't understand why you would do this. But now that it's starting to I'm getting benefits beyond just having this treasure of memories, I think people are kind of starting to come around and see oh, this is a thing, so.
Right. How about you, Naomi? It's almost 3 years for you, so does your family know?
My husband for sure knows, because it takes time to do that. With the children, it's can you watch the children while I make a video? So he knew right off the bat. My parents were probably, a year into it. It wasn't right away. And it was a lot of, explaining. They just don't get it. And I still think sometimes when I'm talking to my mom, about this tonight, she's like, what? What are you doing? And I'm like, we're going to do that. And she's like, oh, well, that's cool. She gets it, and my parents know. But beyond that, none of my other family knows, extended aunts and uncles that I'm close to. I'm an only child, so I don't have brothers, sisters, nephews, nieces. I don't have any of that. So, but beyond, my parents, no one knows.
Well, how about your husband? Was your husband supportive right away? Because I know a lot of people have trouble even just with their significant other.
He was. He's a real technical, IT person. He's really, really into computers, and he's, watched people on YouTube do reviews for phones and those kind of technical tech items. So he was familiar with YouTube, and he was okay with it. I can't say ever did he give me any kind of concerns or anything. He was pretty okay. As a matter of fact, I would ask him, what do you think about, saying our last name or doing this and doing that. I often consult him about privacy things because he's just more into the know on that kind of stuff. So he was real supportive from the beginning.
That's awesome. How about you, Tasha? Did you tell your family? How are they feeling about it? Or did you freeze up? Are you there? I think you maybe froze up on me. All right, how about you, Amy? Do you want to talk about this? How does Andy feel about it?
Oh, he's fine with it. I'm thankful for that. He's probably my biggest supporter in my family. I haven't really, when I first started back in 2008, I was so excited about it that I mentioned it to my parents, and I know my brother and sister-in-law know about it, but I've never spoken of it since then. And it's really awkward because they sort of mention it in ways I don't know, it's very awkward. But I remember my dad or somebody saying that people actually sit down and watch you or something. It was just the reaction that I got wasn't one that I felt that I ever wanted to talk about it again. So it's just kind of this secret that they know about that we don't talk about.
Yeah, I think it's hard when you're outside the community to always really understand it. I really think it's very difficult.
And I also think where I live, I don't know, maybe Minnesota isn't, but I feel where I live, YouTube is not understood. Even by my friends in real life here, they don't understand how it works. They don't understand that there's a channel. I've had 2 cousins find a video of mine, and they told me about it, but they didn't mention anything else. They didn't understand the channel portion of it, so they just knew I had a video randomly on YouTube, but which is fine. They can think that. So I wasn't going to invite them to my channel, but maybe I should have. But that's where I'm at.
Okay. How about you, Tasha? It looks like you're back now. Does your family know?
Well, my husband does, and of course my kids do, because my daughter's always on my vlogs. But not really. I have not come out to the rest of the family about it yet, since I'm still pretty new at it. My mother-in-law knows that I'm doing like videos here and there, but as far as actually being on YouTube and putting out videos as frequently as I do, they don't, and just a handful of close friends around here know. So, yeah.
What do your friends think about it?
The ones that know, they're excited. I've actually had a couple of my friends be in a video with me.
Oh, that's fun. That's fun.
Yeah, so I'm branching out here and there, trying to get the confidence, I guess, to tell other people. I've been toying with the idea of, should I put it on my personal page, on my personal Facebook page, or should I wait? So I'm not there yet, but eventually.
It'll happen. I mean, just give it time. It took me a year before I finally put it on my Facebook page, so yeah. It just takes time, I think, to get comfortable.
I found it to be really freeing. Didn't you, Diana, when you finally just go out with it? That was my personal experience. I kind of told, my husband is, extremely supportive, as is my mom and my sister. They know all about it. They've been in some videos. They're totally supportive, and they've been great. And then other people in my family, some of them know, but they just don't understand, so we just don't talk about it. Just like kind of like what Amy was saying, it's like they know, but there's never any discussion at all. It's like I don't know what they think. I have, possibly they might watch, but they just don't say anything. I think they just think I'm weird. They just don't understand it, and so we don't discuss it. It's just kind of like this little elephant in the room that we just never bring up, that it's, there, and I don't bring it up, and they don't bring it up, and it's fine. But
I'm so scared of it. Yeah. I'm the one that's scared to talk about it.
Right. It's like they just don't understand. Like I don't think they don't know what to say. They just don't know what to say.
I don't know what to say.
Right.
Yeah.
And I put it on my personal Facebook page too, but it was like nobody like really said anything. Like it was just kind of like, I don't know. I feel like everybody was just like, what? And they don't understand. So then I was like, forget it. I'm not going to, I don't really go out of my way to talk about it in front of other people. But if they bring it up to me, I'm always like immensely, I feel so much like love that they actually are, because it's so important to me. It's a huge part of my life. Yeah. And when they actually like speak about it, which I assume is how people feel when they come out of the closet about other things, like it's so nice when people just discuss it, something that means so much to you. So I just, it's so like freeing when people do just talk about it. But I always just try to be as confident as I can when it comes up and just say, yes, this is what I'm doing and I'm proud of it. Because if you're not proud of it, how can other people be proud of it? If you're kind of slinking away and you're scared to talk about it, then kind of like exudes that there's no confidence there, and then they might kind of give you more criticism about it. That's my take on it. Yeah.
That's a good way to look at it. This is kind of a funny story that ties in. So I was in my mom's group for a little while, but it was at the same time that I was starting to do YouTube. And either through me posting on my Facebook page or one of the moms actually just randomly came across one of my videos searching on YouTube. Some of the moms actually started watching my videos and didn't tell me about it in person. But then I started seeing their names like liking posts on my Facebook like fan page and stuff.
Oh my gosh.
But then I would like see them in person and no one would say anything. But it was funny. Like,
did you ever bring it up, or did they bring it up?
Well, it eventually got brought up, and then I found out like who was watching and who was following, and then maybe they're watching tonight. I don't know. But it was just funny because for about 6 months I would be making videos and people would be liking things that I post on Facebook about it, so I know they would know about it, but then I'd see them in person and, like, nothing, So.
Yeah, it's very bizarre. It's like, can we just talk about it and open? Yeah. Oh, my goodness. All right, I see some comments. Do you want to highlight a couple comments? Do you see them, Amy? And I'll look at Twitter.
I don't see any questions, but I see lots of comments. Lots of people are here tonight, which is nice. Jen's Little Place is here. Hi, y'all. Hi,
Hi,
y'all. I wish I could say that. I like talking like that. Oh, here's another y'all right here. Oh, no, I did the wrong one. I'm sorry. That was Mel for the Love of Sorted. Said that. Jen's Little Place. Hi, y'all. Maggles. Hey, everyone. So happy to be here for the hangout tonight. She's going to listen and work on a blanket she's knitting.
multitasking.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here.
All right, Phoebe, read it off so our podcast listeners can.
Oh, sorry.
Don't forget the
I always
podcast
forget
listeners.
about you guys. Yeah. So Phoebe's World said, "I'm here." So many great points already. It's Kaylee is here. She said hi.
Okay. And I see some tweets. We got one from Rachel, from Carly Nicole Elliott. She says, my dad just subscribed to me a couple months ago and spent days catching up on all 400 videos.
That's adorable.
Forward to my new videos. That's like the
That's
best,
adorable.
Rachel.
Oh, I love that.
Yes.
Oh,
That's
so cool.
So sweet. Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. So I know we have some questions in the group. So are there any related to family? I don't think they are, right?
There is one that's kind of related to family, and actually this kind of talks about specifically your kids, so this might be good to kind of tie in before we move on to the next subject. Tristan from the Facebook group, she asked, when, if your kids are old enough to watch, I don't know if anyone has kids that are old enough to watch YouTube, but when they're old enough to watch your channel, how do you talk to them about the criticism online about your family, or thumbs down, or any of those sorts of things that may be perceived as negative? How do you talk to your kids about this? I thought this was an interesting question because I had never thought about this.
Amy, have you thought about this? I know you get quite a bit on your channel, in relation, to Henry and stuff. Do you think about him reading the comments?
He's not old enough to go
when he gets there. Have you thought about it? Like when he gets older to read?
There is so much good. Oh my gosh, there are so many people that are talking to him in their comment. Henry, you. Oh my gosh, it's just. I don't think it'll even be an issue.
Yep.
There's a lot of negativity in that I haven't erased, but it's he'll be okay with it, I think.
Yeah. I think I would probably just try my best to shelter them as much as possible.
Yeah.
But we can kind of move into that a little bit next. That's I guess your subscribers, your comments on your videos, and most if it's really bad, then I do just delete them and I block that person because I don't want to have, if it's just repetitive and I see it's really horrible, then I just will delete it and block it. I don't really even mess with it. Is that what everybody else does here? Or I know, Amy, maybe because of the volume, you just leave it there?
I just leave it because I get a lot of spam too, people saying the same thing on every single diabetes video I have, and I just can't get to all that.
I think that YouTube now is catching that though, right?
They're doing a better job, but people are working their way around it now too.
Okay.
They're starting to figure it out, yeah.
They are, yeah.
How about you, Naomi? Have you thought about that? If you do have that on your channel and your kids are reading?
My son is not quite at that point, but he is interested in YouTube. I'll give him my phone and he'll make a video. He'll make a video for YouTube, and he tells me that his dad's going to put it on YouTube, and I say, oh, okay, So he knows YouTube, and he knows what I do. He's been in a couple of my videos, but I've actually been real hesitant to put him or my other son in my videos because of being criticized or a negative comment about them, and I know that's sensitive for every mom, so that's my holdback on putting them in any of my videos, is because I don't want any kind of negativity towards them.
From the other angle. I see my channel as being sort of a legacy for my future ancestors in some ways. So my children, when they get older, and possibly my grandchildren, those are videos of me, and they might be reading stuff about me, and sometimes I think that for our children that could hurt them worse than things about them. If somebody writes something about you, their mother or their grandmother, they could get really upset if they're reading that. So I kind of think about that angle as I don't want them reading something that would upset them, even though it doesn't really upset me at all. But if I don't want them to read it and get upset in the future, maybe when I'm not around anymore or something. But of course, that's a whole nother thing. If I'm not there, then people could go crazy writing whatever they want. That's the whole future. I don't know how that's going to go, but I think about it from that way, them seeing stuff that people write about me and how they would feel. Not that I get a lot of that, you know. So, how about you, Tasha? Have you thought about that with your kids?
Well, since my kids are so little, I haven't really thought about that, except like she just mentioned, my daughter's already getting her little play iPod and doing videos, and she's like, upload them, Mommy, put them on YouTube. So I don't really know how I can answer that since they are so little.
You haven't really thought about it yet too much. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay.
Well, we'll deal with it.
Yes. There is a place on YouTube where you can go to block certain words or to block people. So I'm going to go ahead and screen share and show you guys exactly where you can go to see that, to adjust that on your channel. So if we look here and you tell me, Diana and Amy, can you see it?
Yes, we can see it.
So if you're in your video manager, which you get there by, you know, up in the right, you click on your logo. This is my channel, The Daily Cheat. And if you click on your video manager, then in the community section down below, there's a box that says community settings. So you're going to click on the community settings. And then in this area here is where you can ban users. You can just put their name in here, or you can blacklist certain words. So if there's any words you don't, you know, vulgar words or other words you don't want, maybe it's even a family member's name or something, you don't want people to write about it, you can put it here in the blacklist and then it will not show up. So that's where you go to find that in your settings. It's Video Manager, Community, and then Community Settings. That's where you can add that there. Okay?
Thank you.
Yes. All right. So, all right. We're going to get back into the comments now. I think I see some questions there. Amy, do you want to pull up a couple questions from the comments if you see any?
I don't have any questions.
Okay. No. All right, let me see here.
Mine's just kind of frozen. I don't know.
Did you see Angela? She said hi. Hi, Angela. I just want to say hello to you. She says, hello, hello. I love Wednesday. How are you ladies doing? I am Zorno. Angela
she's
really
always
cracks me up.
here.
She's so funny. I know. All right. Okay. So moving on. Is there another question in Facebook then that we want to highlight?
Sure. If we're talking about comments and blocking and that sort of thing, this is a good question to go into. Mel from the For the Love of Sorted is her channel name. She asks, do you hide and delete comments that are maybe construed as being negative or a little bit beyond constructive criticism, or do you let your fans eat them alive? So do you call out the troops? Yep. Just let them take care of it?
I thought this one was good because it's a good point. You know, I definitely believe that if you are sort of being attacked in your comments or by messaging, you know, don't respond. You know, avoidance is the best thing. Like that's the whole thing with trolls, or, you know, somebody who's really kind of going at you, maybe just don't respond, because that's exactly what they're looking for. Even if you say go away or please stop, that's a response and you're giving them the attention that they are seeking. So don't respond, because that's the best way to handle it. Even though sometimes it might make you really upset, just avoid it. But if you leave it there, maybe like Amy does, which I often see this, you know, on other channels, your subscribers sometimes, they don't feel like avoiding it, and they kind of will really go in there and start replying on your behalf. So, you know, especially as your channel grows and, you know, you develop a good subscriber base and good, you know, community on your channel, then all your subscribers sort of jump in there. And then you have the whole dilemma, do you delete it to kind of stop the fight, or do you just sort of leave that there and let them all, you know, go into it together? So, I don't know. Diana, what do you do? Has this happened ever on your channel?
Gosh, I don't want to jinx it because things have been so calm lately. Like, I haven't had to deal with anything. It's been great. Like, we're talking like 6 months of calmness, so I'm probably going to jinx it tonight. But there have been a couple times in the past, and it's, I see the same names on other channels that are doing the same thing. So I know it's kind of just their personality. It's what they're doing. They're there just to disrupt things. And so it really depends on the viciousness of the comment, whether they're just being snarky or not. It's probably been over a year. The only time it comes to mind that this happened was over a year ago. Someone made a snarky comment, and then people started just going after her, kind of basically saying, like, that's wrong. And I let it go for a day or two. It wasn't there's different levels here, and she wasn't just like blatantly. I don't know how to explain this without it being a huge story, but
Right.
there's different levels, and it was someone trying to make a point, but the point was not factually correct. So instead of me having to correct that, it was other people went ahead and took care of it for me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's hard to explain without getting into it, so
Yeah.
we'll just leave it there.
I've had that happen a couple times, and I did try to go in and like just sort of a little bit diffuse it. I mean, I didn't really address the commenter, but I kind of went in there and tried my best to diffuse it because I really don't want my subscribers to sort
You
of
don't understand it.
also become targeted by somebody. I don't want that at all. I don't want that for anybody. But I will say that I think it's sometimes important, since we're talking about criticism, sometimes your haters, if you want to call them that, or people who are providing some criticism, I think it's really, sometimes they can really be valuable. At least they have been for me. They really help me to sometimes think about some things in a different way, and so it's not all bad sometimes. If you get some criticism, it can help give you ideas.
It's not, they're not haters. They're just, you're overreacting. I mean, I've been doing this for so long that I remember my first negative comment way back when I first started, like my second video, someone said, "Oh, I feel so sorry for Andy. That's my husband. He has to be married to you." Like, that was the first comment. And now it's like I laugh at that. Like, I remember that first, like, oh, and I'm just started doing this, and I'm like, what am I doing wrong? You know how it is. But sometimes there's comments that people will say, and they don't, they're being not negative or rude to you. They're just stating fact.
Kind of trying to be constructive. Like, those I don't mind so much.
And when you first start, those hurt. Those do hurt. Saying, okay, you're looking at yourself, you're not looking at the camera. Where's your line of vision? Like, people had an issue with that, for me when I started. And you get over that. Like, now I'm like, who cares that they just are stating that, oh, you should. Someone saw my camera and said, why don't you upload in better quality? You have a good camera. It makes no sense why my videos weren't HD. Well, that got me thinking and working harder to figure out how to make my videos HD. Like, sometimes it sounds negative, but really, when you've been doing it this long, it's like, it's not negative.
Yeah,
they're not haters.
The sensitivity level, I think, improves over time as you do this longer. And just like you said, like in the beginning, you kind of you feel really upset with your first sort of negative comment or a first thumbs down. You feel like you want to. I remember back in the day when I first started, if I got like one thumbs down, I made the video private. I was like, oh my gosh, this is a terrible video. And now I don't even look at them. It's just kind of, it doesn't, it kind of changes as time goes on. But when you first start, you're just really sensitive. And
when you first start, you remember those few things. Like, I remember those first few comments, and there's a couple of them, and those people still watch me now, and they're actually, I remember a couple of them are friends of mine now, and those were just constructive things they were telling me.
That's kind of funny that that's kind of funny that you said that, because the comment that I was referring about, that I know that the girl, she just posted on my Instagram the other day. So, yeah, but it got taken care of. I'll just say what it was real quick. It was, I responded, and I shouldn't have, but it was a comment about my 2-year-old at the time. Why don't you put her in preschool? You spend all this money on all this other stuff, and she's not in preschool. And she was 2 years old, just to turn 2.
2, oh my gosh.
Yeah, and so then it just, it turned into a thing, because I was like, what? Because so that was like my first, I guess that was my first negative comment, so.
Happily Housewife, she said, this is exactly like what I was just talking about. She says, how do you deal with comments that aren't particularly rude but are complaining about quality, lighting, and the volume? I try to take this constructively, but when I address it, I get an overwhelming response that it looks fine. It truly is impossible to please everyone.
Samantha, your videos look fine.
Yeah. I think that's like the point that I was trying to make in the beginning, is that it doesn't matter, like in life too. Like, you can try to do everything possible to get everybody to be happy and to like you, and you can, even like at work or wherever, it could be just somebody who just decides that they don't like, the way you dress, or they don't like, the fact that you like sushi, or you've been so nice to them, you've done everything you can, you go out of your way to try to be their friend, and they don't like you. They have this preconceived idea of you, and for no matter matter what you do, they have made up their mind that they are not going to like you. So I think like spending energy on trying to please everyone is really, it's going to hurt you so bad, because it's not possible to make everybody happy. It's just not going to, it really isn't going to happen. Do you have something to say, Diana? Go ahead.
Well, you just made me think of also, like, and it doesn't even just come down to like. I think if you just remember, there's a lot of different personalities on YouTube. There's a lot of different lifestyles on YouTube, and not everyone is always going to understand your lifestyle, because not everyone's living the same lifestyle. There's people that live in the city, there's people that live in the country, there's people that are into golf. There's everything. So, and a lot of times those comments that may be perceived a bit negative, it's just because you have different lifestyles or different interests, or whatever the difference is. So it's just understanding that everyone's different, and different strokes for different folks, right?
And some people, like, they might be your biggest supporter. They're just trying to help you.
Yeah.
Too. Like, I sometimes with quality and lighting, like Samantha's talking about, if you ask about it, like sometimes if you say, what do you think of my sound quality in a video or something, you're going to get all the opinions, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if you say anything, or if you comment, oh, the lighting's bad in here, oh, the lighting, I notice when people mention that, you end up getting comments that talk about that too. It kind of sparks the...
I never asked.
Interesting.
I've never gotten a comment about it because I've never asked.
Never asked about light. Oh, I've said before in my videos, like, oh, the lighting, I try to move my camera. Sorry, this is the only spot I can be my lighting, So it's something I've said in the past. So
it's like when you draw attention to it.
It does. It really does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay. All right, good. All right, so we talked about family, we talked about subscribers, and so I don't know, community is kind of the same thing, like we were just talking about. It's criticism, maybe from others as far as your lighting, or we kind of were just talking about that in a way, I feel. But is there any other comments in the Facebook group, Diana, that you can see? I see we're, coming up on time, so I'm going to look on Twitter while you look in the Facebook group.
And there's Jen's Little Place. This is kind of community or subscriber base about how many subscribers is normal to lose a week or a month. Mm-hmm. And it really depends on your channel size. But you just got to know that people are going to come and go, and that's just kind of the nature of the thing. There's just a certain percentage that'll always be in flux, I think.
And Facebook does those rounds where they just kind of take down the deactivated account, so it could be something like that too. If you see a large chunk go missing all of a sudden, it might be that, and not necessarily that you have a bunch of people not liking you. It could just be that Facebook deactivated a bunch of accounts. Yeah. So keep that in mind. I say don't look at it.
Yeah. I just got a whole load of comments come up. So you guys are really talking. Thank you. I'm just trying to catch up what you guys are saying.
It looks like Katie from Our Family's Log on Twitter says, it's true, not everyone will like you. It only took me about 29 years to figure that out. Lots of love. I think women in general tend to, have, that's a hard concept for all of us, or I know it was for me for a long time. Okay. And same thing with Anne Marie from It's Just My Life. You can't make everyone happy, so don't waste your energy trying. Just be you. So yes, I think that's like, so when you get to that point in your YouTube journey, I think it's so important when you can just be you, just genuinely, and just not be concerned about what everybody is thinking. I think that's actually when you start to really, reach your stride and grow, is when you can just start to be you, even if you're really quirky or whatever it is. I think that's the thing that's gonna, make you stand out, is that you're being unique and you, and not being concerned about what other people are really necessarily thinking.
It makes it more enjoyable too.
Yes.
I mean, it is what it is.
Yep.
Put it out there.
And Mel from For the Love of Sorted asks if she can, when she gets her first hater, can she come and cry to all of us?
Yes.
Yes, you can.
Give you a big pat on
it's
the
so
back.
hard the first time. It's so hard.
Don't be hard on yourself. We've all, like I said, I took down my video the first time I got a thumbs down. I was so upset.
Oh my gosh, I have 80 private videos.
Yeah, we've all been there.
What was I thinking? Yeah. First negative comment, private.
That's what they want. That's what they
tried
want.
putting them up public again. We should do a video on doing that. I need help with that.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't like flood your subscriber feed whenever you take it off of private?
I still haven't figured that out. Yeah.
Sometimes I have the option to not send it to not send it to subscribers, and then other times that box is grayed out to where I don't have a choice.
Yeah, I know.
Well, I think it's because it already was sent to your subscribers. So I do think you should be able to set it to public, and it shouldn't be sent to your subscribers because it already went once. But I think you tested it and it still went in, right?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. It looks like Carly Nicole says, I used to make videos private for the same reason early on, too. Eventually, I made them public again, and I don't do that anymore, or I'd never have a video to share. Yes.
Who remembers the 5 stars when you could get half of a star?
Oh, somebody comment. I don't remember that.
When I started, there were 5 stars, and you could go half stars. So you could get a half of a star out of 5.
Where's all of our veteran YouTubers in the comments?
See, thumbs up, thumbs down is actually kind of better in that.
Oh my gosh, I remember thinking, oh God. Otherwise, you think a 3 or 2. What does that mean?
Mm-hmm.
I think when I started, it was thumbs up, thumbs down.
I'm waiting for them to deactivate that thumbs down, but I know it doesn't matter. Even if you get thumbs down, it still shows as engagement and still kind of. Yeah. I think it's engagement. Yeah, but
they're just pushing you up in search, so
right.
It doesn't matter whether you have like 100 thumbs down and 100 thumbs up. It's just pushing you up in search because it's engagement.
Yeah.
So.
I would say that some of my thumbs downers are just my absolute biggest fans because they're there right away as soon as the
always
video
in my
goes up.
mind, I'm like, oh, they just bumped the button.
Right.
Let's talk about that for a minute.
Like 1 or 2 thumbs down. Oh, someone just bumped it.
Like, does everyone have that person? Like, it's some weird like YouTube computer
everybody
that lives out there.
That person.
Has that person. Your video is just uploaded, like not even been on YouTube long enough to even watch it fully. Thumbs down.
I think it's
like,
the same
whole red bar across the top.
The whole same person for every single one of us.
That must be fun for people to be like the first thumbs downer. That must be like.
Yeah, maybe it's like sort of game.
I listened to like a whole NPR episode about trolls, and they actually interviewed one, and he was a regular guy who had a job and a family, and he was, normal. And it's basically like they don't see you as being a human being. Like when you're, when they're behind the computer, like they don't see you as being an actual person, and that's kind of where it's just kind of like it is. Some
random guy came out as a troll that has a family?
Because he actually realized that he was wrong and apologized to the girl. And so he, and he had like created a whole fake, Twitter account to troll her, and it was so mean.
Creepy. That's so creepy.
And then she found out he had a family and everything, but he said that he was just really unhappy with himself and with being overweight, and she was a woman who spoke about how proud she was about how, her size, and he kind of triggered this like hate in him about himself, and so he just started attacking her. But he was like a normal guy who, women liked him at his job, and like he just like kind of kept attacking her. So people, they just don't see you as a human. I think that's important. You're not a human being. They don't see you as being a person. So it's scary, but I try to have compassion always and hope that they can, maybe one day be better.
Tasha, have we completely scared you away from YouTube tonight?
Yes.
Yeah, we should have a little pep talk of all the thousands of good comments that we get.
Let's talk about all the good
so
things
much
before we
good.
wrap this one up, because it's been...
Right. I always say too, like, go to your favorite YouTuber and look at like a video that's helped you and see how many thumbs down they have, and I bet you'd be like, whoa. I mean, if their video is so great and you love them, then that always helps me. I'm like, wow, look how many thumbs down they're getting. I think that they're awesome, and that always helps me. So
I got my first thumbs down a couple videos ago, and I was just like, that's cool. Whatever.
Good job. Yeah. All right, you're better than us. I know.
Now, I haven't gotten the mean comments and anything like that, so I have pretty tough skin, but we'll see when that first mean comment comes around.
I really do think YouTube has helped me grow so much. I mean, it's made me a better person.
Me too. Yeah, I like
the confidence that I have now in real life. It's really, if someone says something to me that I don't agree with, I don't care. I'll tell them what I think now, and it's
interesting because there's these apps you can get where they like will insult you all day long, and it like helps. Have you heard of those? No. And it helps you to like see how absolutely ridiculous it is when people like are saying that stuff to you. It's just like it kind of helps you like with developing that thick skin, because then you realize how just absolutely absurd it is when people do that who don't know you.
I don't know. It's helped me stand up to like a family member in my life, like that's always was putting me down, and I don't know. I'm just thankful for YouTube.
Yay! I know. YouTube is wonderful.
It
I
is.
know. Yeah. Wow. And public speaking, I think it's helped so much just being able to speak, and these hangouts have been incredible for me. So we've all come a long way since our first one.
Yeah.
So, but all
Just
right.
like I can't watch my videos back.
I know I can't watch my first one. It's horrible.
Hard enough to edit them.
Okay. So I think that's going to do it. I really, wait a minute. I have a comment up by accident. Let me get that down. Thanks, Rachel, for your comment. Okay. So thank you to everybody on Twitter, to the Twitter team. And before, I give the final wrap up here, I want to give everybody a chance to sort of let us know where we can go to find you, so the podcast listeners know where to go to find you. So we're going to start with you, Tasha. If you want to go ahead and let us know, are you on Twitter, Instagram? Just shout out all your places where everyone can go to find you.
All right, yeah, I am on almost everything, and my username is TKB+3 on Twitter, Instagram. My Facebook page is TKB+3, and Google+, same thing. So, easy breezy.
All right, perfect. Okay, how about you, Naomi?
I'm My Life with the Cherry on Top on YouTube, on Instagram, and I believe Facebook too. I'm totally new at Facebook and Twitter though, so I'm not very active on those at all, and I need to get better about that. But Instagram, I am way active on Instagram, and YouTube twice a week.
Okay, perfect. All right, Diana, tell everybody where we can go to find you and your stylish self.
I'm down here cheering on Instagram, so I was down here giving you a thumbs up for Instagram. I am Diana from Be Mommy with Style, and you can find me a lot on Be Mommy with Style at YouTube. I am also on Instagram and Facebook, Be Mommy with Style, and never choose a YouTube name that's too long because I had to shorten it for Pinterest and Twitter to Being Mommy Style.
Okay, Being Mommy Style. Go check out Diana's great vlogs from the All-Star Creator Conference. She just got back from Disney, and her vlogs are great. They're really awesome, so I'm really enjoying them. All right, so Amy, where can everybody go to find you?
First of all, Carly Nicole Elliott. Rachel. She remembers the star system.
All right, Rachel. Veteran right there.
Yes. I am Dreamflight 6000 on Pinterest, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, and on Facebook you can find me at the Dreamflights. It's my new page.
Yay.
So come join me.
Okay, awesome. All right, and I am Dana, Miss Diaper D. You can find me on the Diaper Dirt podcast and also on the Diaper Dirt channel, which is youtube.com/Miss Diaper D. And yeah, so the Twitter team, number one, thank you guys. You rock. I appreciate you guys so much. Everybody on Twitter, I love getting in there after the hangout and kind of reading through what everybody said. And if, again, you want to read about it, how maybe you can become a member of the Twitter team, go to YouTubeMomAndMeetup.com/Twitter. And also, we talked about Carly Nicole Elliott here in the hangout. She heads up our Pinterest community boards. So if you're interested in being a contributor to the YouTube Mommy Meetup Pinterest boards, then you can head over to join us in the Facebook group, which is, of course, YouTube Mommy Meetup, and that's where you can sign up there. And Amy, you have something to say about Pinterest?
I cannot figure it out. I still can't figure out how to pin a pin on the page.
Well, Rachel is working on a tutorial video that we will share here on the channel with everybody on how you can pin your pins onto the community boards.
I am not, I have to say, I'm not very tech savvy, so
okay.
But still, I want to learn how to do that.
I need to get in there more. I really do. So it's a good thing, though, to kind of help to share your content. And so we got the Pinterest boards going on. And then don't forget the conference. The YouTube Mom Conference is going to be in August 15th, 2015. And that's at YouTubeMommyMeetup.com/conference. Yay! We're so excited about that. It's going to be a really fun time. And it's a very interactive conference. We're not having any speakers. We're going to be filming. It's going to be really fun. We have kind of a cocktail hour going on, and it's going to be really fun. We have a kids zone, and we have a whole conference committee, and I think we're all going to get together and sort of talk about how we sort of how we planned and instigated, or how everything went with the conference. We're going to all get together and talk about that together. So, but you'll see them listed out. If you go to youtubemomandmeetup.com/conference, everybody who's on the committee is listed there. And thank you to them. We've been working really hard together to make everything happen and plan. It's new for all of us, so it's fun. It's a good challenge. I'm enjoying it. And then I think that's it that I wanted to say in this Hangout. Don't forget to head on over to the Facebook group and join us, and a lot of fun stuff going on there. And we'll see you guys in the next Hangout. We're here bi-weekly, and instructions on how to enter your channel to join is also in the Facebook group, so go check that out there. All right, and I'll stop talking now. It was a really good Hangout. It surprised me, actually. I really enjoyed this one. Okay, all right, talk to you soon. Bye.